Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, before the break, we were talking about neighborhoods and meeting neighbors. And Cheryl, Danielle, we all kind of know that real estate is a great investment, especially if you're able to purchase a rental property, right? But managing that rental property can be confusing and a lot of work, right, Cheryl?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it can be. And our next guest is here to help us figure out when we might want to enlist the help of a professional and call in a property manager. So let's welcome to the show Al Pesiri from Harland Property Management. Thanks for joining us today on Main Street Living.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So, we've all heard of property managers, but we probably don't really understand what exactly they do. So, let's talk about some of the responsibilities.
Sure. At Harland Property Management, we're responsible for everything relating to the success of a rental property for the owner. It requires knowledge of market pricing, advertising, accounting, home repairs and maintenance, landlord tenant laws, a lot of that, insurance, and even more. It's a very multidisciplinary business.
Well, I appreciate that you're letting us get a peek into your your work today. I know we have a little peephole going on, getting
I
to look
love
at
it.
the real
Yeah,
work that's
definitely.
going on.
It's always it's a busy work environment for sure.
Yeah, well, speaking of the work, do property managers work for the property owners or the tenants?
Um, the property manager works for the owner as an agent and is required to be licensed by the state of California. We always want tenants to have a good rental experience, but have a duty under the real estate laws to represent the interest of the owner. That's actually, it's definitely baked into the whole thing.
Okay, let's talk about short-term rentals a little bit because I know across the country the laws for short-term rentals, they're changing, they're becoming more restrictive. So, what advice do you have for property owners who may not be able to continue renting in the short-term market?
I would recommend that they plan ahead. Vacation rental owners who need to switch have to decide when to stop taking short term rental bookings. Um, Setting an exit date that allows them to maximize their potential as a long term rental will be an important decision.
Now, what kind of services specifically can you offer to property managers who maybe want or need to switch over to those long-term rentals?
At Heartland Property Management, we offer full service management for rental properties. It includes marketing, showing, writing the lease, collecting the rent, taking care of the maintenance issues, tax documents, more, and even more. We position owners for success with their rental property with a minimum of hassle for them.
So, when you say taking care of maintenance issues, what types of things do you take care of? So, does somebody just call and say, "Hey, I think my AC went out," schedule an appointment? Do you handle all of the logistics of that?
Yes, definitely. We will gather bids, review the bids with the owner. In like a situation with an air conditioning unit, it requires that we know quite a bit about that business as well as just as well as our own. We have to be able to manage them and make sure that what they are offering to the owner is the right solution, and be able to give recommendations.
Hmm.
So with some of these new laws coming out, are there upsides to either the owners or the renters in this situation?
I think the upside for everyone is that there's still a strong need for rental property in San Diego. The market's going to absorb the vacation rentals that switch over to long term rentals. It'll give tenants new options, and owners who make that switch will still have a valuable rental property in a great location.
So, are you saying overall, would you recommend somebody who is renting a property to just hand it off to someone like you, the property manager? Makes it so much easier. Is it worth the investment?
Definitely. When you tend to see that, we keep ourselves very closely connected to marketing and rates. So we set rates that are closer to market than what a lot of owners would do themselves. And owners can also kind of fall into certain pitfalls with insurance, leasing forms, especially during the COVID pandemic. Changes to the laws. Those things we're getting updates from attorneys, as they happen.
Hmm.
That's so important. And I know, like, I have an aunt who has a rental property and was just telling me about how they were renting so much lower than all the other people in the area and they had no idea. So that's a huge asset, obviously, that you guys can add to this whole process. For our viewers, though, how can they find more information about the services that you offer?
Sure, you can find us online at harlandpropertymanagement.com or call us at 858-367-0343 and we'd be happy to help.
Awesome. And I've got one more quick question before we go. Regarding
Sure.
the laws, how are we supposed to stay up on the changing laws and knowing that? Or how do you guys do it?
Actually, we have local attorneys who have been in the business for a long time in terms of handling landlord tenant. We also know there's multiple jurisdictions, the state, sometimes the counties involved, the cities, and so basically you have to, especially during COVID, we had to fish through their websites, their emergency orders. It was actually a very hectic time.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot to go through there. But thank you once again. We appreciate you joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, lots to manage there. That's why it's good to have someone else to manage it for
Yes,
you. But
for sure.
don't go anywhere because coming up, we're going to talk about how we can provide a little bit of extra help to our senior citizens.